Good afternoon, good day, good morning. Hello, Katherine, how are you?
I'm doing fine. This is Katherine and Christopher Tipper of Hunter Benefits
Consulting Group. See our new sign?
Yeah.
We love it.
So what is today, Christopher?
Today is August 13th. Friday the 13th. Just figure that out. And I know it's not supposed to be a holiday
That's why we
celebrate.
come here. That's why
we come here.
here.
Find out what day it is. It is the 60th anniversary of the start of the Berlin Wall. Okay, we're not necessarily celebrating it like it was International
It's an anniversary.
It's an anniversary. It's not a celebration. So this is On the Couch. Our attempt at being humorous, at looking at all things IRS, DOL, PBGC, etc.
And it's the bourbon edition.
And it's the Friday afternoon bourbon edition. Did I forget?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. Oh, my goodness. All right. So today, there's a reason why we have the whiteout all over the table. All right. It's not just so Mrs. Tipper can play with other things here. We are going to be discussing at a 35,000-foot view. Yeah, a 35,000-foot view, the IRS's self-correction programs. See you in a minute. All right, and we're back.
And we're back.
So we do have a Washington update. Kristina, does
Yes.
East of the Potomac have anything new for us?
Yes, they've been thinking again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so remember they had the missing participant program?
Yep.
And now they have enhanced that a bit, and they want to know about uncashed checks that your plan may have left with a former record keeper. In other words, you transferred from one company to another company to invest the monies, and you just brought the active people or the people whose account balances had never been paid out, and the people for whom checks were written but never cashed were like, oh, forgot all about those.
Okay, so do we have TPA? Do we as TPAs have to do something?
You may.
Okay, watch this space.
When you take over a plan from somebody else, you're going to have to ask about uncashed checks, and you're going to have to go back to the other record keepers to find out about it. It's something to add to the list of things to do.
That's why we call it Bourbon Edition.
My suggestion, let's put it on the back of the milk cartons.
That would probably
Be more effective.
well,
Maybe.
yeah, because sometimes the cost to find a missing participant with an uncashed check is greater than the amount of the check, and the DOL does not care.
All right, very good. Well, kind of thank you, Kristina, I guess. All right, however, don't go very far, because you're kind of leading this conversation here.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a conversation about the self-correction process. And as we were looking at it, Katherine and I were like, no, we're not going to be able to lead the conversation on this. We thought, we've got Kristina here. So we are going to kind of interview Kristina for our On the Couch edition. All right?
Oh, gee, I hope I know the answers.
But you better do. Can't wait for your performance review. All right,
So we're going to talk about scale, big or little ones?
What do you mean, bigger little scales?
Well, are there some things you can fix yourself, so what you can fix?
Okay, Kristina.
Yeah.
What's the easiest thing a plan sponsor can fix on their own?
Anything that's insignificant.
Okay, good. Not a very specific definition.
Because there is no definition in the regulation that defines insignificant versus significant.
Okay.
The only difference between the two is an insignificant one does not have a time frame in which it can be corrected. A significant error does have a time frame, like the end of the third plan year following the plan year of the error.
Okay. Is a late 5500 considered part of the self-correction process, or is that something separate?
That's separate.
Okay. So an example of the difference between insignificant and significant is $1 1 day late for one pay period for one person versus all of the deferrals late for all the employees for 10 years. That's a very obvious distinction.
Could be.
Could be. How can you not be more?
So
What part isn't clear? The $1 for one person for one pay period, or the all of them for 10 years?
Well, nobody would ever notice the $1 for one participant.
So it's somewhere. It's
So insignificance is in the eye of the auditor?
Yes.
ah.
Yes, they
Very
have
good.
several rules here. How many other failures did you have during the plan year? Is this the only failure you had, or do you have others? How many plan years were involved in the failure?
Okay.
How many participants out of the total number of participants in the plan
Are
have been
affected.
affected? Yeah.
So a common example or common things that can be possibly fixed under self-correction are late deposits or missing, not getting people enrolled in time, or not doing automatic enrollment in time, or taking the wrong amount. What's the no?
Well, if you fail your auto enrollment, if you discover that within like 3.5 months after you missed enrolling, then you can self-correct.
Okay.
If you go 5 months without correcting the problem, you have to go through VCP.
Okay, all right. Let's say you've missed a mandatory amendment, so August of next year you realize you should have done your cycle 3. Is that self-correction or not?
It is. It's a significant.
That's a significant,
Yeah.
All right.
So what happens if you
Document-
self-correct and then it really wasn't insignificant, it was more significant?
They make you go back and go through VCP.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, if they find it.
And there's a cost difference from the IRS.
There's no cost for self-correction.
No, but when they find...
So that would be a cost difference between nothing and a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the fees for VCP depend on how many assets, how big the plan is in terms of assets and how many participants, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is the IRS I thought the IRS was changing something about the self-correction process or VCP.
They changed the correction period from 2 years after the year of the event to 3 years after the
They
event.
lengthened it.
They lengthened
But
it.
what's this John Doe or this anonymous thing that's gone
Oh,
away?
they've gotten rid of the anonymous, but that's only under VCP, not under
Self-correction.
the self-correction. Yeah.
Are you going to explain what that is? That's like when you
well,
get on the telephone and say, I'm not going to tell you who I am,
well,
but I fixed
I'm calling
it.
for a friend, and my friend knows a friend who might have maybe done something wrong, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's gone away, effective.
Oh, gee.
Is it already gone? Or
I
is it in
believe,
the-
I believe they
Yeah, I think
for
they-
new filings, yes,
Okay.
they've done away.
Well, so we've talked about deferrals, which I'm guessing loan payments are part of that. We've got some document stuff.
Failure of an ADP test that was not corrected. If you did not correct your ADP test, then you can self-correct, but not by returning money to the highly compensated, but by giving money to the non-highly compensated.
Okay, and that's the year that's you've got 12 months to fix, and if you don't do it, it's the next year. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Same thing with top heavy, Miss Top Heavy.
Yes.
That's the self-correction as well.
Yes.
So what would, if somebody was 60% vested and you only paid them 40%?
That would be, if it's only one person in the plan, that would be an insignificant
But that still
failure,
falls under
and
SCP.
Yes, you can fix
Okay.
that.
Is there something we're missing? Is there some major category that we've not asked about?
Let's see. Let's say you have a merger and you were doing self-correction. It's important to complete your self-correction during the correction period, but if you have a merger that interferes with that, then you have to do it within the year after you.
So it was shorten it up.
merger,
Okay. The bottom line with this, and the reason why we're talking about this, is that even though they've taken away the anonymous submission concept, they still have set up programs or have a concept where it's much less expensive to fix things yourself, to turn yourself in. Even VCP, as expensive as we think that is much less expensive than being caught, correct?
Way less expensive than being caught, because if you have egregious or very significant errors in your plan and you're caught, they can disqualify the whole plan, which means everybody pays taxes on everything.
Now, okay, what happens with Roth money? Never mind. We've all SCP and VCP and all that. This is IRS.
Yes.
I'm asking a question I don't know the answer to because I'm still kind of new at this. DOL?
DOL has purview under the provisions of ERISA. So if you were violating ERISA, for example, and it's like dual responsibilities for the two agencies. If the DOL finds that you did not cover the employees that should have been covered under the terms of the plan, then they have purview to go in and penalize you and oversee the correction of that. The IRS then has the ability to say, oh, okay, fine, we accept that, or no, we don't, and you have to go through our program too.
But if somebody fixes it for the IRS, do you know of any instances where the DOL have said that's not good enough?
No, the DOL and they're very rare.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it would have to be referred by the IRS to the DOL. It's not like they go out searching for these things.
So even though we're talking about the IRS, if you do it right, you're taking care of both the IRS and the Department of Labor. You're getting two agencies with one stone, so to speak. Or one bird, one stone. All right.
Don't throw birds. Don't throw birds.
As CFO, is there anything about this that we haven't talked about that you'd like to discuss?
Don't make mistakes.
If you're putting money in the plan, I'm thinking like you. If you're putting money back in the plan, if you have to put extra money in the plan, is that a deductible expense?
Well, yes, I believe
Is
it
it?
is.
Okay.
But not any of the fees.
But not any of not fees to us from the consulting, but no IRS user fees.
Right.
Those are not
Well,
deductible
I don't believe
expenses.
the fees to you to fix it.
You don't think those are deductible either?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Really? Well, we're
I
not
could be
CPAs.
wrong.
That's why they have to
I
talk to
was gonna
somebody
say,
else.
yeah.
That's why we hired.
Yes, that's why we hire
Yes.
CPAs. This part we're making up. Okay?
Talk to your tax professional, which
Yes.
is what we say.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can come up with some 3 key takeaways. Filippo, pay attention for the notes here. All right. 1, it's less expensive to fix yourself. 2, the smaller the problem, the less expensive to fix.
Yes.
3, get it fixed sooner than later.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with all of that.
Did I pass the audition?
And it's okay because every plan in the country has at least one error in it at some point in time.
Yeah.
So this is why they have self-correction,
'Cause
because
we're all
they
human,
didn't
yeah.
want to have to review everything.
Every single plan. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Boy, I haven't forgotten. I was getting to you guys. No peanut gallery? No peanut gallery. Okay, no questions for today. All right. Well, don't
Filippo,
act
do you even know what-
afraid. It's fine if we're asking this question for the peanut
Filippo,
gallery.
have you actually ever used one of these?
Do you know what that is?
Okay.
On an iPhone or on an iPad?
My fingernails.
Oh, your
I used it in high school. That's what I painted my nails with.
Okay.
Do you know?
Did it because you could sniff
Okay,
it.
Now
So
that's
you
what you
were
can
doing
do
it.
with this office supply that is no longer relevant, right?
All right. So, what movie phrase are we going out on today, dear?
Bombs away.
Oh, wait a minute. HunterBenefits.com, sales at HunterBenefits.com. Like, subscribe, chat, share, do all that other stuff, all right?
And
Thank
quite
you.
frankly, if you have questions about a correction, call us. Yeah.
Or
I think
email
that-
us at
I think-
sales@hunterbenefits.com.
I think that's just usually the message. As you hear
Absolutely.
this long thing go, it's tricky. It's worth talking to a good TPA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.